This is a video about that feeling when you're just like, have you ever felt like you're about to lose it? Total anger, total sadness, total frustration. Whatever it is, where you're just at the end. I remember the first time that my wife Haley had a miscarriage, and I remember us sitting there and just thinking,
this is not the way it's supposed to be.
This is wrong. Total sadness, total loss.
I don't know. Sadness? I don't know. Loss.
You know what that feeling is? That's the feeling of living in a world that is completely broken. It's the fact that everything you've ever seen your whole life, from the first time you looked at your mother's face when you were a baby, until whatever you're doing right now, everything you've ever seen in this world has been broken, or cracked, or bent, or marred in some way. You've never seen one thing in this whole life that wasn't somewhat broken. And man, it just drives me crazy. I feel like everything I look at is bent and cracked in some way. This world is like a beautiful face with a big scar on it. But let's get real for a minute. This is never more evident than when we're looking in the mirror, right? I mean, for me, most of the time, I'm looking at the brokenness of my life and thinking, I think this might be somehow my fault. Well, here's a really unpopular opinion. Let's zoom way out, and I would say that the brokenness we're facing in this world, it was actually caused by us. And this is somewhere that Christians and non-Christians tend to agree, because we're all looking around saying, oh man, the ice caps are melting, we're all gonna die, and this seems to be because we broke the world we're living in. The brokenness we face started with our sin. It started in the garden with Adam and Eve, and then we've all been doing our part as well. And our attempts to fix the brokenness we're living in don't seem to be working. I mean, think back to January of 2020. Yeah, it's a new year, new me. Now fast forward 2 years later, January 2022. Does the world we're living in seem less broken than it did 2 years ago, or more broken? So here's a question for you. I mean, we're all facing brokenness every day, but where do you find hope in the midst of all that? Just comment down below. Where do you find your hope in that? There is only one person who ever really tried to address the brokenness we're living in right now. Who do you think I'm about to say? Elon Musk, maybe? Jordan Peterson, he's really smart. Joe Rogan is going to fix everything. Jesus. Behold, I'm making all things new. He went after the root of the issue, which is our sin. And I promise you, there's no one else who's tried to address the brokenness you're facing in that way. We can try to fix it ourselves. We can try to fix the ice caps, the violence, the division we're facing. But if you don't deal with the root of it, it's just going to all get broken again. Revelation says that right now, he's on a throne, and he's putting the pieces back together. So I think that in the midst of all this brokenness we're looking at every day, we can find a little bit of hope in that Jesus is trying to fix it. The only answer to the brokenness we're facing is Jesus.